guys, it's Phoebe from Who's Phoebe and welcome back to another Doctor Who video. As you guys know, I'm doing 24 days of Doctor Who, basically where I review 24 classic Doctor Who stories. It is so hot in my house right now. They have the heating on here all day, every day. It's like, it gets annoying to the point I'm like, oh, please, for God's sake, turn the heating off. I'll be alright though, just annoys me a little bit. I've just had to adjust my camera a little bit. So if you've never seen my face on your screen before, please get that big subscribe button down below and also click notifications bell. Notifications are everything come up. I'm wearing elf ears and an elf hat right now, don't ask. So today's review is Invasion of the Dinosaurs. Now upon reviewing this, I do know some behind the scenes facts, so I will be dropping those in as well during part of this review because I feel like it's important to mention to you about some of the behind the scenes fact. I was in the middle of recording this video and my camera suddenly popped up with memory card error, which annoys me so much because it basically means I spent the last 7 minutes not thinking my camera was recording, but hopefully I don't have any issues with it today. So without further ado, let's get on with the review. Now, I do like Invasion of the Dinosaurs. It is actually a really good story, not just because of the way it's set up, but because this is not the first time Doctor Who have messed around with dinosaurs. We've had dinosaurs in the Matt Smith era, don't ask. And also, this also touches on global warming, which is a thing in Doctor Who that occurs quite often because the Doctor, if you are well aware or you're a long time Doctor Who fan and you know about the classic series and also the modern series and the ideas that it plays on with global warming and the Doctor being like, people can save planets or wreck them, that's a choice, be the best of humanity, which the 13th Doctor once said. I can't believe I actually remembered that quote. That's a good one. But yeah, so this plays on the idea of these scientists wanting to take Earth back to a golden age where they can adjust the course of history, where they can guide humanity to make sure that they don't harvest oil, because like the third Doctor said at the end of this story, it isn't people harnessing the oil, it isn't cars, it isn't emissions and things like that, it's pure greed. We are being greedy and everything like that. That's pure greed. That's got nothing to do with us. So the idea of this playing on the whole global warming thing, and obviously Captain Yates is the bad guy in this story. This also explains why he is no longer in unit come the next few stories and later on with the 4th Doctor as well. This kind of explains everything. So when the Brigadier find out that Yates was the rat going between unit and these people who were determined to go back to Earth's golden era, the Brigadier was like, Yates has got extended sick leave and a chance to resign quietly, the best he could do. Basically, because Yates is one of his soldiers, he doesn't exactly want to sack him or court-martial him, so it gives Yates a chance to resign quietly by giving him extended sick leave. That's the best Brigadier could do. Now, when it comes to the design of the dinosaurs, I actually know a few behind the scenes facts about this. So when they were filming the dinosaurs, they couldn't make them actually like big, like they couldn't actually make them properly like big, you know, for the actors to actually see them. So the best they could do was build a set in a studio and build the dinosaurs like that, and then when it came to filming they literally zoomed the camera up enough to make them look massive, because actually in reality when they were filming the dinosaur scenes, the reason why in the story it doesn't look like the dinosaurs are particularly moving or it looks like they're being slow is because the best they could do, like the people like behind the set and everything like that, the best they could do was literally screw the dinosaurs with their feet to the table and the puppeteers would work the arms and the mouths. That was literally the best they could do. I mean, now with Doctor Who, we've got all this CGI, so if they need to use dinosaurs again, you know, they just literally make them on a computer. But this is the best they could do in the 70s. This is 70s. This is 70s Doctor Who we are talking about. It did get a little bit better in the 80s, but that's another thing. So yeah, that's the best they could do. So the actors just had to pretend that they were literally seeing the dinosaurs in the sky, and this was easy for John Pertwee because, you know, he's a great actor and everything. It's just a shame he's no longer around. I do really love Sarah Jane in this story as well. You guys are probably wondering, when am I going to mention Sarah Jane Smith? Well, I'm mentioning her now. I do really love Sarah Jane because when they kidnap her, when the scientists behind this kidnap her and put her on this fake spaceship, she literally walks out the airlock and tells people, you do know what's behind that airlock, a flight of stairs. She knows full well that these people behind this whole dinosaur coming to London thing are literally just putting these people in a spaceship, telling them what they think is true, and literally just being like, this is your spaceship, you're going to a different planet. When in reality, they're actually not going to a different planet. They're just staying in there so that the scientists can get them to, you know, to go back in time to an Earth's golden era. And the others do obviously start to believe this, especially when she opens the airlock and they all walk out and, you know, they all start questioning. I also really love Benton in this particular story as well, because when Yates starts pointing a gun at them all and suddenly the private comes in with cups of tea, Benton's like, drop kick, and like that. So that's actually really, really fun and probably my favourite scene of Unit Soldiers. Obviously Benton doesn't change sides, he's obviously going to stick with Unit and everything like that. So that's quite good for him because he's not seen as the bad guy in this. Like Yates in this particular story, he is seen as the bad guy because he is a rat. So he's working for Unit, but he's also working with the general, for the people who basically are responsible for the dinosaurs. And when the Doctor gets arrested by the general for apparently bringing the dinosaurs here, which we all know is not true because the Doctor would never do this. He's not the Master, for God's sake. The Master likes causing chaos and the Doctor doesn't. So the Doctor is not like the Master. He would not do this deliberately. He would probably do it by accident, but that's in case something was following him. This was a someone framed him type thing. So someone basically framed the Doctor to basically get the Doctor out of the way. They thought, if we frame the Doctor, then Unit will arrest him, it gets the Doctor off their back and they can carry on with their plan. How wrong they were. Because when Benton tells the other soldiers to make the storeroom into a temporary cell, Benton obviously tells the Doctor to overpower him to make it seem like the Doctor actually overpowered him, when in reality Benton is actually letting the Doctor escape in this particular time. But Benton's just saying to the Doctor, you better do some of your Venusian Aikido, which is like this intergalactic martial arts. I actually do not know what it is. I only know certain martial arts from doing kickboxing and everything like that. So the Doctor pretends to overpower Benton and he basically escapes. And what I find funny is when the Doctor is in this unit sheep trying to escape the general and his people and everything like that, the Doctor says over the radio that he's been captured, like in a different voice, and that is just classic Doctor right there. Obviously the Doctor is keen to obviously stop this and everything, so even the threat of arrest is not going to stop him from achieving his general purpose, which is literally save the day. What else I like about this story is it's so nice to see like the Doctor is still helping out with Unit. Obviously this is the last series he helps out with Unit before he obviously actually, being the 4th Doctor, goes off to travel the universe and only nip back to Earth whenever it suits him. So I mean that in a way, like, kind of, you know, I mean that in a way like the Doctor's only sticking around one more year to basically finish his exile. Even though the Time Lords have forgiven him, he's still sticking around just for a little while longer. But yeah, overall, there's nothing negative to say about this story. Apart from maybe the shoddy CGI dinosaurs and apart from the shoddy effects, but like I said, I keep having to remind myself that this is 70s Doctor Who. This is not like, you know, this is not like 2020 Doctor Who anymore. This is like, you know, like, this is not the 2000s versions of Doctor Who. This is the 1970s versions of Doctor Who. So of course the visual effects are going to be a bit shoddy in places. But yeah, there's nothing bad to say about this episode, about this story. It's a nice 6-part story. It's not too long. You get to understand the reason why Captain Yates left. The Brigadier obviously has to write up a court-martial for the General, so, you know, there's that stuff as well. So overall, I'd give this story a solid 9 out of 10. Mostly just because it's a really enjoyable story, really brings the message of global warming across, I think. And the fact that the Third Doctor mentions that it's just people's greed, it's just Earth's greed, and eventually this planet will be a planet inhabited just by rats, and the Brigadier's like, that will never happen, trust me, it will, because we've got about 1 billion years left on this planet before everything bad happens. I don't mean to frighten people. Anyway, this is again in tribute to Elizabeth Sladen, who played the wonderful Sarah Jane Smith. Also to people who were in Wales and West Wales and Scotland when Storm Drager hit. I give you my prayers, and hopefully no one was seriously injured. I know there was a couple people who died. That's unfortunate. But yeah, so I do hope everyone has stayed safe during the storm. Anyway, see you guys tomorrow for another video. Allons-y.